I have a feeling it's not the marijuana, which I am curious to get your take on, that has you speechless, but the testimony yesterday of former Nixon White House counsel John Dean. Do we have some video of John Dean's actual testimony? This is a snippet of what the former White House counsel, who, as the president was quick to point out, is a disbarred attorney and an ex-felon, and no disrespect to either disbarred attorneys or ex-felons, we have one of each coming on later. This is what John Dean said yesterday.
Mr. Mueller addresses the question of whether President Trump dangled pardons or offered favorable treatment to Michael Cohen, Paul Manafort, Michael Cohen, and Roger Stone, whose name is actually redacted, but based on educated conjecture, I think that's pretty clear who it is. And the question is whether, in return for their pardons, they agreed to, or the suggestion of a pardon, he was seeking them to keep their silence, and how they coordinated with investigators. But also the Mueller report offers a very powerful legal analysis that, notwithstanding the fact that the pardon power is one of the most unrestricted presidential powers, it cannot be used for improper purposes. What's interesting is Richard Nixon, who used the pardon in a similar way, recognized that it was improper.
Wake up!
Is John Dean's 50-year-old testimony over? What are we doing here?
Look,
what are we doing, Frank?
Yeah,
this is a real question to our viewers in Washington. What are they doing? What are they doing? I don't understand what's happening here.
So John Dean had nothing to do with the Trump campaign. He had nothing to do with the Trump administration. He had nothing to do with the investigation into either the Trump campaign, the Trump transition, or the Trump administration. So this is someone who has no substantive addition to the facts at all. The only thing that they knew this would do was get talked about on shows like this one. And we're giving your chairman, Gerald Nadler, exactly what he wants. By the way, I want to point out that when Gerald Nadler collapsed, you know who called him in the hospital? President Trump did. And I don't know that if that was one of your enemies that was hospitalized, John, that you would have been as gracious as the president.
I don't know that I would, and I'm not going to be gracious right now because Gerald Nadler is wasting everyone's time and money. And Frank, as you know, I think he bears a great resemblance to another great character.
Oh, boy.
I had to do it.
You better be careful with that joke. It's getting to be an antique.
You know what? We're getting new viewers every single day. People are emailing me, texting me from Texas, from Korea, from Latin America. Keep watching. We need you. We're growing something here. And I got to pick on Nadler. And we got to talk about Dean because we're one of the only shows who's talking straight on the other side of things and able to see the positives and the negatives and call them out. Why are they wheeling out contributors to left-wing television channels as experts when they have no bearing in this? It's a show. It's a theater. It's the biggest reality show ever.
And I think the president himself took note of that yesterday, whereas he might characterize this network as being somewhat Trump-inclined. You make your own judgments. He certainly said that the network that pays John Dean is certainly less Trump-inclined. This is what the president said when asked for comment about John Dean yesterday.
Secret immigration deal. Do you have a reaction to
John Dean's testimony?
Have you been watching it?
Look, John Dean's been a loser for many years, so I've been watching him on one of the networks that is not exactly Trump-oriented, and I guess they paid him a lot of money over the years. No, John's been a loser for a long time. We know that. I think he was disbarred, and he went to prison. Other than that, he's doing a great job.
Other than that, he's doing just fine.
You don't even need writers for this show. Trump just writes the material for us. He's a loser. He's always been a loser.
Yeah,
that's that John Dean.
Right.
Oh, him.
He went to jail, disbarred attorney. Other than that, he's doing just fine.